you know, unless my thing goes clang, 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 I think that's it for the night, because it's 4:56 and it's the something or other of December. It's a Sunday night anyway, Monday morning. I think it's is it the 4th? I think it's the 3rd. I think it was only 30 days last month. And it's 5 AM and I think I'm going to head home, because there's a hell of a lot going on here. But this is Rota River. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably just go through. I've been at the ice site. There's something called an ice site, which is a bus depot, and it's got all sorts of information about Rota River. And this is Fenton Street at the moment. Just ahead of us there was the Rotorua Lake. If you have a look on Google and Google Lake Rotorua, you'll find it. And this is Rotorua, or Rotorua, Rotten River, Rota Vegas, or Vegas. New Zealand's Vegas, because it's sort of the touristy spot of you know, New Zealand. It's your thermals and everything. So you got your Maccas over there, as you can see. I'm just gonna head home now, I think, because I'm had enough. This is Rotorua at night, or in the morning. Now, how did I do? I was pretty well flat out until midnight. I came out about 6:30, and I just sort of volunteered to do the all-nighter on a Sunday night. Oh, I fucked up, I'm going this way. And I volunteered to do the all-nighter, which usually means there's only one car on, that's me. And last night was frantic. Like, I'll say last night, I mean Saturday night was frantic, and so was Friday night. But even so, early Friday night, or early Saturday, one of the nights, it was quiet up until about 11 o'clock when it started just going nuts. It seems to be what happens is, you know, the older people, parents if you like, they come out and they go to, there's the ice site up there on the left. See that little churchy thing, what looks like a clock tower? Behind the trees there, just on the left hand side. And the parents come out, they come out for dinner and they go out to do whatever parents do. And then I take them home about 10 o'clock at night, and then about 11 o'clock I bring the kids out. And the kids go out and party till about 3 in the morning. Now, you can see those little bits of wet on the road. That's only because we got central islands down the roads here in this part of New Zealand, sort of, you know, the reservation if you like, and they put flowers and stuff on it, and it's like got sprinklers in it to keep the flowers watered, so it's a pretty town. See the flowers, look, see, it's like a pretty town. So the central reservations have got sprinklers in them. But this is the Kiwi Spirit just on the left here, and then just down here we've got the lava room, because it's sort of geothermal activities and things like that, and steams and things. I'll just close up the thing a bit there. And that's what the town trades on, and Maoridom and culture, and you'll often see, if you go into some of the events, little what do you call them, dance groups, what they do, sort of New Zealand huckers. And anyway, let me tell you something that happened Saturday night. Saturday night, I was outside, I was driving along, and it was frantic. People at one point, about 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody was screaming for a taxi. It was one of those famine and feast situations where, you know, you had to grab one while you could get one. Anyway, I got stopped. This guy flagged me down, and even the wife says he flagged me down too early, because what happened was I had to wait like 10 minutes for them to come out the takeaways. They're waiting for the burger to be cooked and whatnot. So I said, look, you know, I'm having to turn people away, you're on waiting time. And he said, yeah, whatever mate, whatever. So I dropped one of the friends off. There's 4 of them in the car. Dropped one of the friends off, dropped the other friend, and they spent like 5 minutes chatting and searching for keys and generally faffing around. And then we got him out of town, got him to us, and ordinarily it'd have been like $25 for the fare, but because of all the faffing around, and because the turkey held the door open, leaning on the door against the car for about 10 to 15 minutes, preventing me from driving off, preventing me from earning an income, which is why it was on waiting time. And the fare totaled $45. We got to the guy's address after dropping a family friend off. We got to the guy's address, and he said he's not paying the fare. I said, well, you got to. He says, I'll pay you $25, but there's no way I'm paying you $45 from town. I said, look, you held the door open, you lent on the car, you prevented me from earning an income, you're on waiting time. You've got to pay the full amount, $45, or I'm calling the cops. Because it's tantamount to theft otherwise. And I got on the phone and I called the cops. The cops didn't actually need to come out because the wife tried her card. The card declined. He said, there's no money in there, love, I've taken it all out. I think you call it Interact, we call it FPOS, Electronic Funds Transfer at Point of Sale. So anyway, he said he'd withdrawn all the money, there's no money in the account, so the card declined. And I said, righto, so what are we going to do? Okay, so I'll call the police. I was on the phone talking to the police emergency people, and he was getting nasty, and he said, there's no bloody way I'm paying it, I'm not paying it, blah, 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 blah. The niece in the back seat ended up giving me her card. We ran the card, $45, done. Now, it would have been 40, but with all the faffing around and the disagreement and the arguing, it would come up to 45. So I charged them, said, look, you're going to hold the car up, you're going to disagree with me and argue with me, I don't give a shite, that meter's still on. You're stopping me from earning. It's the busiest time of the week and I can't earn money because you're prattling about. So, boom. Anyway, the niece ended up giving me her card instead of the police coming round, and I got paid. But it's just the arrogance of some of these people. It really hacks me off, you know. They think that, you know, you're a taxi driver, you're just a piece of shit. We probably are. But, you know, it's our way of earning an income. And we don't have to put up with it. So, anyway, yeah, I got paid. But you get them. They just sort of seem to think that they're better than anybody else. They think their own shit doesn't stink, basically. But every single passenger, I think they call it crate night, everybody was pissed, and last night was hard work. The next people I picked up, they were arguing, and they were having a discussion, an intense discussion, boy and a girl, male and female, husband and wife, partners, whatever, and they're in their sort of early 20s, and he asked me what I thought after about 3 or 4 minutes of, you know, argy-bargy. And I said, look, no disrespect intended, my boys are in their 30s. When there was sibling rivalry and the kids were having a row, I'd give them a pair of boxing gloves and tell them to take it out in the yard, I don't want to know. And with that, they shut up. That's one of the joys of being a grandfather. You can speak your bloody mind, I suppose. But anyway, so that was that. But other than that, you know, job-wise, it's an okay job. You know, on Thursday and Friday, you're doing the 400 to 500 mark. I'm doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's enough for me. You know, my levies are a couple of $100 a week. So yeah, it's okay. I don't know what it's going to be like after Christmas though, like March, April, when, you know, you get to the dead part of the year. I mean, we'll look at that then, but, you know, at the moment things seem okay. We'll see what happens. But it's a new company, it's only been going since September the 1st, and it's competition for the guys that have been here since dot. But anyway, my wife and I, we're going away, and we're going to go down to a place called Napier, which is like 3.5 hours drive away. And we're just going to go down and look at a couple of vineyards, because it's vineyard country down there, and the wife's into her wines and shit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to have a night's break, a 3-hour drive, and spend a night in a hotel. You got flybys points, which are reward points. You know, if you buy a TV or you buy tyres or something, you can say, I'll have my flybys points. So we've got a load of points in the card, thought we'd use them up, have a night away. We're leaving Rotorua now, and we're heading home. But yeah, sometimes this job's hard, eh? I mean, you know, any other taxi drivers listening, they can relate to that. I don't really have the option of not doing town work, not doing, you know, some drunks out of the bars and whatnot, for the sole and simple reason that it's a small town, and that's really where most of the income comes from on the night shift. And as I say, it's, you know, gone 5 AM now, but when I get home I've got to take the Ford down to the Fairlane. Got to take that down to a garage about 7:30 in the morning, in about 2 hours time, and that's going to have a service, and we'll be taking that down to Napier. That's our old Ford Fairlane, the one that I used when I was at corporate. But anyway, time to go home, stroke the cat, kick the wife, something like that. Yeah, that's it really, just all blends into one big blur, same arseholes, some drunk, some not so drunk, some old, some young. But it's certainly different to what I did in Cambridge. It's essentially the same sort of thing, but at Cambridge I was tied to a roster, I had to do Sundays. And what the deciding factor that made me leave Cambridge Taxis was when he said to me, oh, by the way, you're on the roster, you're working Christmas night. And I said, am I? He said, yeah. I said, oh, okay, we'll see about that. And a couple of days later I jacked it in and quit. I don't work Christmas night. Oh shit, that reminds me, I've got to go to Kayla's work and support my daughter with the company that she works for, because they're sort of taking the piss a bit, giving her all the holiday work. And she doesn't want all the holiday work, she wants some time with her family, which is fair enough. Kirsten's doing alright. I think I mentioned in an earlier video she's driving for Hobbiton, you know, Lord of the Rings and all that. But I've got about 3 or 4 videos to chuck up. I might chuck them all up in one hit this morning if I can. I'm certainly going to put this one up this morning if I remember. Yeah, I probably will. So I haven't got anything else to do when I get home, because I've got to wait until like 7:30 before I can get my daughter out of bed and say, hey, you're coming up the garage, I need a ride home, kid. So, okay, home for now. Dogs are still alive, so are the cats. But it's getting daylight now. We're coming into summer. Christmas lights are appearing in the shops. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Yeah, all that crap. I'm an atheist. You know, and I know a lot of people